This is Alan Ball.
Hi, this is Audrey Fisher.
This is Jim Perry.
Hi, this is Kristen Bauer.
Hi, this is Alexander Skarsgård.
This is Nelson Ellis.
Hi, this is Johnny Neal.
This is Rayo Tucker.
Hi, this is Lindsay Pulsifer.
Hi, this is Ryan Quanton from True Blood.
Hello, this is Theo Alexander.
Hey, this is Lauren Bowles.
Hi, this is David Tishman.
This is Chase Everett.
Hello, this is Janina Gavankar.
This is James Frame.
Hi, this is Courtney Ford, and you're listening to True Blood Radio.
Hi, this is Liz and Mel with True-Blood.net, and this week we're talking about the epic and very bloody season finale called Save Yourself. We want to dive right into this episode quickly because there's so much to talk about, but there's a couple of news items that we want to bring to your attention. We want to make sure you guys don't miss out on any of that, and that includes some surveys, some spoilers, well, that's later, photos, and an awesome giveaway that we want to remind you of. So this is podcast number 190 for the week of August 26, 2012, and Mel is going to start us off with the awesomeness.
That's right. We have our second annual fan survey up and ready for you to respond. We already have about 800 people that have responded, and it's going to be open until September 9th, so there's still plenty of time for you to get your vote in and let your voice be heard about Season 5. We're asking a lot of different questions about Season 5. We just want to remind you that read each question carefully. There are a few of them where you have to rank things from on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 always being most favorite and 1 always being least favorite. And just as a reminder, we've already had a couple of people that were confused about this. You can only pick one number 1, one number 2, one number 3 on those questions. And if you put like 2 things at number 3, it'll give you an error message. So if you're running into that error message, that's probably why. And again, this is the second annual fan survey. We learned a lot about fans last year when we ran the same survey after Season 4. So we're really excited to be doing this again. You can find it in the news column or in the features on True-Blood.net. You have until Sunday, September 9th to place your votes, and we will share the results with you a few days after that so you can see how your view of True Blood stacks up with other fans.
Yeah, it'll be fun. We've also got video from inside the finale posted under our video column. We've got photos, interviews, and a special thank you from Alan Ball himself. It's all posted on our site, True-Blood.net. Just check out the video tabs and the news tabs. Alan also answers some fan questions about the finale in an interview with TV Line. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that later because it's quite spoilery, in case you didn't see it yet.
And in case you haven't noticed, we have now posted our True Blood Season 6 spoiler guide. There's a handy little link there in the sidebar that you can click, and we'll be filling in more intel as it comes out. We already have a decent amount of information, which I was lamenting to Liz a couple of hours before the finale as I was trying to get it set up. I was like, how do we not know anything that's going to happen in Season 6? It all hinges on this episode. Who will survive? What will happen with this? What will happen with that? So now that the season is over, we have some answers and some more questions for Season 6. But before we head into our discussion, I wanted to remind you guys that we're giving away 2 True Blood comic books. These are the issues 1 and 2 of the new ongoing series that is co-written by Michael McMillian, who plays Steve Newland, who may or may not still be on the show. And he signed both of them here. When we got a chance to talk to him at Comic-Con, he signed both of these for us to give away to you. So check that under the contests or features tab at True-Blood.net. You have until Sunday, September 2nd to enter that giveaway. So head on over there and check it out. It's open to fans worldwide. You don't have to be in the U.S. to enter to win. So head on over there.
Woohoo! Worldwide.
Yeah.
We like that.
And we also wanted to remind you that we have a special offer for Sookie fans. You can get an audiobook version of Deadlocked free. Check out audibletrial.com/trueblood for a free audiobook and free 30-day trial of Audible's service. You can choose from thousands of titles, and they have all of the Sookie books and the short story anthologies as well. Tons of other great fiction and nonfiction writers, helpful books on pretty much any topic. Visit audibletrial.com/trueblood for your free book.
All right. I think we're going to roll right into our episode discussion. Of course, the finale was called Save Yourself. It was written by Alan Ball and directed by Michael Lehman. So, Mel, you want to start us?
Yes. Well, this was quite a swan song for Alan Ball, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I thought we should talk first about Bill, or Billith, as he's now being called. Because in some circles, I'm quite famous for my theory about what was going on with Bill and Eric and the Authority this season. And I was trying to think of some clever way to eat crow on the podcast this week, but I couldn't come up with anything. And also, I'm not entirely sure I need to. And before you start firing up your emails, I want to remind you that A, I'm not Team Bill. I don't care really if he's good or evil or in between, as long as there's a good storyline. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me who Sookie's with. I just want a good story. So that's not, I'm not trying to force him to be good because, oh yeah, Billy's got to be good. But also, I think my theory was correct in the beginning, but what I didn't account for was Bill being so lost and being so unhappy being a vampire and needing something larger than himself to connect to. He really felt disenfranchised. And this Lilith, between the hallucinations and the blood and just being surrounded by so much power, I do think that originally he and Eric had devised a plan to go in and take down the Authority, but as he got further into it, undercover Bill, as he got further into it, I think that he got lost. I think that he got too far and he did go to the dark side, and that's what we ended up with at the end there, was him drinking all the blood. He did, if you think about it, he decimated the Authority.
Mm-hmm.
Nora is the only Chancellor left, and she's on Eric's side. She was successfully converted to the mainstreamers. He took out Salome, Bill did,
Mm-hmm.
using her own tactics of flattery and double crossing. Kibwe's gone, Rosalind's gone. That wasn't really his doing, but I think he must have had a way. Well, he probably figured she'd switch allegiances because she did very quickly. But she's gone. Drew Roman staked him way back. Roman's gone. It's Dieter has been killed. General Kavanaugh, Eric took care of him. I mean, all of these obstacles that were in that, all of these people who were originally part of the Authority that Bill and Eric would have tried to get rid of in order to bring the mainstreamers back into power, they are gone.
Mm-hmm.
But Bill has now taken up the cause in a big way as a Sanguinista, we think. He's now whatever Lilith is or was. So, I think that's kind of where I'm landing on that. Now, my friend Joan thinks that I am giving the writers way too much credit, and I'm analyzing the characters way too much. And, so it could be another situation like Jason being bitten by the Panthers. There's this big build-up, and then nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I just feel like all of those looks between Bill and Eric, all of that non-verbal communication between the two of them, that they made a point episode after episode after episode to show us. I mean, you could practically see it in the stage directions. Bill and Eric exchange a significant look. Capital S, capital L.
Right.
I mean, what was that for if not to say they're in on it? They're in this together. They've got something, there's something behind the scenes that they're working on. Maybe that just got left by the wayside. Maybe Eric genuinely was stunned when Bill went too far because that was not part of the plan. I don't know.
Yeah, that would seem to make sense to me, especially given,
or maybe we're overanalyzing.
Especially given Eric's reaction when Bill finally did drink that vial.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I don't think he really expected him to do it. And everybody expected Sookie to be able to swoop in and save the day,
mm-hmm.
and she was not able to. So
I do believe that Eric thought Sookie would be able to get Bill to snap out of whatever he had gotten into.
Mm-hmm.
that she would be able to remind him of the reason that they started down, he and Eric started down this path in the first place. Mm-hmm. And then when she couldn't do it, he realized this has gone really, really wrong.
Yeah. And then now Sookie's in danger again. And
big time.
Yeah, huge. And we don't know if she'll make it out alive. Of course she will. We know she will. But
how much did you love, though, when Eric turns and he gets a close-up of the camera and he yells, "Run!"
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my gosh. My heart just about jumped out of my chest.
I tell you.
I was so keyed up.
Those last few minutes of that episode were, I don't think I can recall ever watching a season finale that was so intense and such a roller coaster ride, because I was completely and utterly speechless when Bill starts to, after he drank the violin, starts to bleed and then disintegrates. I'm like, no, this cannot be.
I thought they did it. I thought they actually did it. I was like, oh my gosh, it's like a British TV show all of a sudden. They're killing off a main character. And they kept it quiet. That's what I was like, could they seriously have pulled this off? Could they be? I mean, that would be a bold move.
And I'm
huge.
And I'm thinking, now at Comic-Con, Anna Paquin said that her favorite scene, or her favorite scene,
most memorable
scene in this season was that final scene. And I kept thinking, what the heck? How could that be?
Yeah.
And then, but wait, there's more.
Yeah.
All of a sudden the blood started to move and I'm like, oh my gosh. I
was actually swearing, and you know that I don't. I was dropping some F-bombs, and there were a couple of S words slipping in there. This is trouble. Can't believe they did that.
I was watching on my laptop with my headphones on, and the kids were in the room, so I really had to be careful.
Oh.
They were watching something on TV while I was doing this, and I just really had to be careful on what I said. But I was gasping, and my kids are going, "Mom, what's wrong? What's wrong?" They thought I was hurt. And it was the craziest finale, and I was stunned. I was literally stunned when it was all done and over with. And I know that we've been talking about, the plan and everything, and, Bill's got to be faking it just to take the authority down. And like you said, we were partly right. He did take the authority down.
He did. It's just not the way we thought.
And I'm sorry.
Or not for the reason that we thought.
I am not going to be, I am not unhappy with the way it ended, because
me neither.
I love to be surprised. If I can predict an ending, then I'm sorry, but the writers need to work a little bit harder.
Yeah.
But they totally blindsided me. And I have to say props to the writers of this show, and to Alan Ball for finishing off, his season to such a wonderful in such a wonderful way, and totally in the spirit of the books. And can we talk about that?
About your heart
talk about that
attack
for a second? Because
oh my gosh, you predicted it last week. You said, I have a feeling that that Alan Ball is going to give us what he was feeling when he read the books.
Yeah.
And you
Throw
were
the
right.
book across the room. Gosh darn it, Charlene Harris.
Now I have to wait.
I have to wait. And that was the reaction on Twitter. And I saw the reactions in the chat room. Everybody was like, what? No.
I know. We were stunned. There were a lot of people that were just like, I haven't read this. Like they wwere just letting their fingers go across the keyboard because they didn't know what to say. They were so surprised.
I mean, and I love that. I really love it. Keep us guessing, keep us speculating. No matter.
And all of the story, the story that opens now for season 6.
And now.
Oh, the repercussions, the consequences.
Oh, no kidding. And this is totally a departure from the books. And here again, I have to say, the spirit of the books is still there. The spirit of the books. You have to focus on those words. All the people that are upset because they're so far away from the books, don't be. This is very, very exciting. Mel and I are huge fans of the books. That's why we started this website. But they are veering further away from the books, yet keeping with the spirit, which is what? The excitement, the what the heck?
Yeah.
Being family friendly.
And how does all of this impact Sookie? How does all of these political maneuverings with the vampires, with the shifters, with the wearers, with the fairies, all of it, how does that affect Sookie? And that is still the central premise of the show. How does all of this affect Sookie?
And they don't have to bring in Quinn. They don't have to bring in Amelia or any other of these side characters to do that. Charlene Harris did that to build her world. That's her world. This is True Blood. They are going to do it a little bit differently, but the spirit of the books is still going to remain. And I am happy because this is reliving an experience that I loved so much in an entirely different way. And I don't know what's coming. It's not like, we read the books. Oh, I know what's going to happen. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. That's going to happen. Not on this show.
No.
And I just absolutely love that. Take me by surprise. Let me have fun. Let me escapism. Okay, I'll sign up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now I may need to quit deep analyzing, but or I'm going to be, eating a lot of crow. But it's so much fun. It was so much fun. And ride. I will, I'm going to tell you right now on the record, this is my favorite season of all.
Totally.
Hands down. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I didn't love everything about it, but overall, my favorite season. I liked the authority stuff. I liked Salome. I liked Nora. I do feel a little bit like Roman was wasted, but I'm not sure what else they could have done with him, quite frankly. His story arc had kind of gone, but the return of Russell, Steve Newland as a vampire, Tara as a vampire. How much do you love her? And now it's Tara and Pam. Jessica and I both. I knew it. That was so awesome.
Cute. So cute.
And what's going on with Jason? I don't even know. What's happening with Jason. The Alcide Packmaster stuff, they couldn't. We've talked about this before, that it is difficult to get us to care about the wearers, about the werewolves. And they keep trying to make it happen. Not just True Blood, but different movies and TV shows. They keep trying to make it happen, and it doesn't. And I think it's the animal part of it, that whereas shifters seem to be more human than animal, wearers seem to be more animal than human. And that makes it difficult, as attractive as Joe is, and as happy as people were to have him shirtless last week. It is very difficult for us to connect with the wearers in the same way that we can connect with the shifters or the fairies or the vampires. It's just, I think there's something innate in us that makes it difficult. So I do struggle with Alcide's storyline, and being at all invested in it. As much as I would like to be, I'm just not. It was the same way in the books.
I felt the same way.
I'm just not.
Alcide's story I kind of more or less skimmed through that at some parts. So it's just it's personal preference. There's a lot of you guys out there who really love it, and that's wonderful. Joe is a wonderful actor. It's fun to watch him doing this. But as far as the story itself, and it was great to see Robert Patrick again. I really like him as an actor a lot. And so it's great to see him. And I like Martha, and I like Ricky.
Ricky.
But it's not that I hate them. I'm just not that interested in the story. Unless they do something next year spectacular to really put some kind of a real focus on the story and do something spectacular with it, I'm not really that interested.
I think they really would need to put Sookie in the middle of it for me to really care about it. We need we just need something that we can connect to. like I said, I just think it's fundamental that it's hard for us to connect to that storyline because it's more animals than person than people, than human. That's my take on it. Again with the analyzing.
Now, I have to say, getting back to Bill, just before he drank the vial, he had a wonderful little speech there that it was really, if you listen to him and you listen to what Bill was saying, there was a man just filled with pain, so much pain. I think every bit as much as Eric's pain when Russell took his entire family from him. At least Eric got to get some justification. He got some revenge, and he was able to put a period at the end of that story. But Bill never really, he could never, like he said, he just didn't fit in anywhere. He didn't feel like he did. And for someone like Bill with his background, it just was all wrong for him. He should never have been made vampire. He could never resolve himself to the life as much as he tried.
The conflict, the moral conflict,
especially that,
eating him up. So we could almost look at that as a suicide attempt.
And then, like you said earlier, that he's surrounded with this alternative, all these things that can maybe fill everything that he's been missing in his life. These are all the things that they were the answer for him. It was, if not suicide, at least maybe an alternative, a way to be able to justify the life that he was living. And I just felt so bad for him. And I'm like Mel, I am neither Team Bill or Team Eric. I'm Team Sookie all the way. I'm Team True Blood. That's what I am. But so I like that Eric, in this season, there was a role reversal. A lot of you guys out there have mentioned the role reversal in Bill and Eric, where Bill kind of took on the bad boy and Eric kind of, ended up as the hero type. That's fine with me. It's fine. And
that does, again, that follows the spirit of the book.
Absolutely.
Where Bill, and this is actually a comment, I believe True Love is the person's handle on our site. And a few days ago, she posted, she said, what if what's going on with Bill here at the end of the season, where he's doing things like we've been having this big discussion about Bill hitting Jessica and people getting so upset about that, whereas Jason shooting Jessica in the head wasn't raising the same amount of ire, or Pam throwing Tara across the room, or other things. People weren't as upset about it, and why? And so she posted, she said, what if these things, these seemingly heinous, irredeemable actions that he's taking are the writer's way of resetting the character to more closely match Book Bill, to change him so that he is no longer, so that Sookie and the fans can no longer see him as a viable romantic interest. Just like in the books, Sookie realizes this is not someone that I can be with. This is not someone I can love him as a friend, but I cannot trust him, and I cannot be in love with him. And it actually took her quite a while to even get to that point. But is this a way to remove him from this triangle that's been created, this, Sookie, Eric, Bill triangle? Is this the writer's way of pulling him out of that? So he's no longer even in contention. Therefore, setting up the Eric Sookie romance, which, again, that follows the spirit of the books. That's what Charlene did. Is she took Bill out of the race, basically. She gave Sookie some time to breathe without, she had that little brief fling with Alcide and a little thing with Quinn. And then when she was ready, then Eric, the relationship with Eric started.
Right.
In earnest. And that's not actually until book 7, but I think we'll probably get it next season.
Yeah, it's and Bill had a long road to go
really interesting
to redeem himself in the books. So we don't even know.
He does.
We don't even know what's going to happen to him next season. I don't know. I was trying to stretch my imagination as to, okay, what's going to happen now? Because clearly he is going to be one of the big bads next season. I mean, what was Lilith all about?
Do you really think so?
She all about survival, but vampire domination over humans.
Well, yeah,
and he,
yeah, well,
no,
but we never actually heard her say that.
We didn't.
We heard her words interpreted that way, which of course is an analogy, both political and religious.
We don't know yet.
But we don't know for sure what this bill is going to be about. I was reminded, and I mentioned this to you last night, that our first look at the new bill is identical to our first look at Vampire Tara. Fangs out, hissing at Sookie, apparently ready to attack, and looking crazed. It's the same. It's exactly the same. So basically the writers have given themselves an image. They've given us an image, but if you really think about it,
true, it's
ambiguous. If you compare it to Tara, who I don't think we would call her evil.
No, I wouldn't.
So no. And as far as, is he going to be like Lilith? Well, is Lilith even corporeal? So is Bill corporeal? What can Bill do? I don't know. They've got a lot to work with, a lot of options, I think. I think they've given themselves a lot of options on. And
I'm not even going to speculate because I just don't know. This is such an unknown. This is unknown territory. It really is.
Which is exciting.
I'm really excited to see what they do. I still would be very surprised if they did end up finally killing him off the show. That would just floor me. But as we saw,
I'm almost disappointed that they didn't do it.
Yeah.
Almost. In that it would have just been such a I mean, it would have rocked popular culture for that to have happened, for them to have done that. But I mean, they couldn't do it. They just couldn't do it. He's a lead character.
I don't think they'll do that either. But I don't know what the answer is going to be. It's going to be great. I don't know. I feel like I could go on talking about that, but there are other things that we need to talk about.
Yes.
The death count.
Yes. So the death count. We start with Russell.
I know, and
right
I cheered
off the bat. Wow. I did too, but I just didn't. I didn't see it coming so fast.
Yeah.
It was before the credits even. So, and Eric comes to save the day, and like you said, get his revenge.
I had to laugh when Eric turned away just seconds before he exploded. He's such an old pro. Such an old pro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he says, that really felt better than I thought it would. Or that felt even better. Yeah.
Right.
Vengeance is mine,
a few things happen. Then Sookie pops out of nowhere and goes running because Eric can't see the fairies. So, she just pops out of nowhere and goes running across the field there to Jason. And we get a shot of Steve Newland. He witnesses the demise of Russell, and he disappears pretty quick. PDQ.
Yeah. Well, his self-preservation instincts are pretty high, so I'm really curious to see what's going to happen with him.
Then we have Sookie trying to revive her brother, and then Jason is seeing things, but only his parents. Isn't it weird?
Mm-hmm. And his parents
there is something wrong. Here's what I think.
Wrong.
When the elder fairy was casting that spell or whatever it was, she was trying to vanquish Russell to another dimension. What if, and so it hit Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Jason couldn't go there, but what if it kind of opened up just enough for fairies to appear to Jason? They're from another dimension, but they're appearing as his parents.
Right, because we already know they.
So
can
that's kind of what I think
want.
happened. I think it's a result. It's an end result of him being hit by that spell or curse or whatever it is, the fairy magic, and it has to do with him being sent to another dimension. These are seeing, and he could see it.
Seeing another dimension, and now. Yeah, and so they're going to use him to carry out their anti-vampire agenda. Because that's what's been bothering me is, I mean, that whole episode, every time we saw his parents, they were just, you know, it was propaganda, pure and simple. And that's not his parents. That's not what we saw before.
Right. So
with them. It was very, I almost wondered if it wasn't Claude and one of the sisters. Because the way that Daddy Stackhouse was sitting and talking and acting reminded me a lot of
maybe
Claude.
a relative. Maybe a relative.
I don't know.
I mean, Lord knows there's plenty of them.
Yeah. Right. But just the way that he was being very, very casual about his hate and very snarky. I don't know. It just made me wonder who are these people that are appearing to him as his parents.
No, I don't believe it is either.
Couldn't be his parents.
I honestly don't know. I just really feel very strongly that they are Fae, and that's what's happened. So. We'll see. Jason's going down a dangerous path right now too, and destructive, and it could. But I gotta say, what a sharpshooter!
Dude, I think all those video games paid off. It was like watching Duke Nukem.
It was
awesome.
It was, but it was fabulous.
Blood,
I was like,
but,
dude, Jason.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
He was in the zone. Yeah. Well, we saw that a little bit in season 2 with Marianne. And then he went target practicing with Steve at Fellowship of the Sun also. Which is where, didn't he reference Duck Hunt?
Yeah.
On that? Duck Hunt. I think that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's got some skills. But weren't those the same glasses he wore when he went to try to break up that orgy in season 2?
Could be.
Those yellow glasses? I don't know. His whole commando getup just reminded me of that scene. You know, when he had the helmet with the antlers.
How funny was it that he's out in front leading the brigade off of the elevator?
I know. He's the only mortal one among them. And he's the one out in front.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
Yeah. Although that we probably ought to, yeah. There was a bonus scene, but we'll talk about that in spoilers.
All right, so we have. See, I loved how Jessica was explaining what was going on there to Pam when they were in their cells. You know, talking about how they're just. Yeah, every road, all roads lead back to Effensookie. That was pretty funny. You know,
so
Pam.
funny.
I hope someday she gets to gets beyond the Effensookie thing.
Yeah. Well, they're not really giving her much
not
reason
yet.
to get beyond
Not
it.
yet.
So
I don't.
No.
Maybe they will next season.
Yeah.
Who knows? But it was evident that Tara, while not having forgiven Sookie, at least they were able to work together. And it's kind of like what I thought was going to happen. They're not going to ever be friends, really BFFs anymore. that relationship is forever changed.
Mm-hmm.
But they can work together. Should the need arise, they'll be able to work together.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
I
think Tara
she does
really
have
have a new life.
And it doesn't,
now.
right, it does.
And Sookie's
yeah,
just a peripheral part
it's
of
not
it.
her main focus anymore. So I mean, that's fine. You know, I not surprised about Tara and Pam together, that they were setting that up since the beginning of the season.
Pretty much.
So,
yeah.
And yeah, that's fine. Whatever. I don't really care.
Mm-hmm. That's good. I gotta say, I think right now they're number 2 on the survey as far as couples that you guys are rooting for. It's Sookie, Eric. Here we go. As of right now, it's Sookie and Eric in the lead with Pam and Tara close second. So, yeah, you guys are clearly on board with that.
And I don't care. Just don't care.
You know what? I think it's about time Pam had a relationship. She has not yet on the show. She's never had a relationship. You know, she's had tasty snacks. But other than Eric, she hasn't had a relationship with anybody. So that's, I think it's time. And I think Tara's a logical choice. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. The two of them and yeah, it's just going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
I thought it was funny, Eric and Nora together. They cracked me up. Okay, trying to work out, you know, that the computer, and Eric is trying to interfere, and Nora's finally like, would you please get out of here? Just leave. I identified with that.
Yeah. Do you think maybe I could figure it out since I designed it? He's like, oh, well, I guess, yeah. He had a lot of good stuff. They gave Skarsgård a lot of really fun banter in this episode. There was the swear on Godric in the field with him and Nora, and then that lightning fast exchange between Eric and Jason
hilarious.
At Sookie's house. You know, ending with, you know, meat bag.
I love that Jason is not afraid.
That was awesome. He's not. He's really not. It may be stupid of him, but he's really not afraid of Eric. Even though he calls him the tall, scary blonde one. But then when they're in the truck and Eric leans over into the window, I would have wrecked that vehicle. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Please. I was laughing so hard at that point I could barely type.
It was hilarious. I loved it.
He had some good stuff. Yeah, and then in the
and
with
then
Nora
at Fantasia, when they were pulling out all the money out of the safe there, telling her not to touch Tara because she's family too.
Yeah. Oh, who knew Eric was loaded?
Well, I mean,
I didn't.
I
mean, I knew he was rich, but I didn't know he was that rich.
You know, he owned Fantasia, and
yeah. Well, I guess the current poor economy for vampire bars isn't going to
not Eric.
Yeah, since he's got
right
mountains of cash hidden in the wall.
So yeah. All right, some great Eric moments. We need to talk about Morella giving birth. Right there.
I want you to take that clip and show it to my sisters-in-law, who between them have had 11 children, and only one of them was delivered with drugs. The other 10 were natural, no anything, you know, and like 5 of them were born at home. So,
no, what kills me is
I don't remember these sounds coming from your room.
No, but after she pops out 4 babies, then she just kind of smooths down her dress, gets up off the pool table, and la-di-da, she's done. Okay, see you later.
Yep.
See you later. Bye. They're yours.
Yeah,
really?
But isn't that established? Am I just remembering it from the books that it was established that that's what happens? That the women bear the children, but the men raise them?
Oh, I don't remember.
Okay. I think it might be from the books. I don't know that they've actually ever said it on the show. But that's their I guess that's how it works.
Okay, well.
Here you go. Here's some quadruplets for you. Bye! I carried him for a week and I drank a bunch of salt. I'm done.
One of the questions for the True Blood Roundup with TV Fanatic was, what would you name the quadruplets? So I gave them all the Three Musketeers plus one. All of them plus D'Artagnan. Yeah, all of them.
Except they're girls.
The Four Musketeers.
Except they're girls.
I don't care.
All right, I guess Andy's going to be non-traditional in naming them.
It's True Blood. You can do anything you want.
Yeah. That's going to be fun, though, watching him try to handle that.
You know, do you think
fun.
Holly's going to help him?
I think she's not going to be able to resist helping him. I think he's going to be so clueless that she, and she, as a Wiccan, she's got kind of a, the doctors do no harm oath. Mm-hmm. She's got kind of that mentality, that kind of a belief, and I think she'll be just like, well, I'm going to have to help him or these children are doomed.
And between her and Arlene, I think it's just going to be really weird. But I'm telling you, the audience was hilarious.
Oh my gosh. Brilliant use of Jane Bonehouse. Who, Andy, you big fat liar.
And
you and she, yes, in the woods.
Lafayette and Arlene, they're all, oh my gosh, Lafayette was so funny.
Yeah, Lafayette's like, man, I'm about ready to have children too. I give birth. And Arlene's going, man, and nothing like that. That was so funny.
It was hilarious. Hilarious.
Now, see, that's how you use Arlene.
Yeah.
I think Carrie Preston is lovely. I think she's a good actress, but Arlene is not a main character. She's peripheral. She's on the sidelines commenting. She's not a main character. So quit trying to make
Give her
one.
some great lines to zing in there. She does it very, very well.
And then let Carrie go do other stuff like The Good Wife and, these independent movies and stuff like that. Yeah. Quit trying to make Arlene something she's not.
Right. I agree.
Okay, rant over on there.
It was a great scene, though. And so that's another thing that we're going to be dealing with for season 6. What about those babies? I'm sorry, I just don't see Andy doing it. I know that's just really weird.
It is. It is very strange. And he's going to be,
odd. So we'll see what happens there. What else happened?
Well, Alcide's Packmaster now.
Yeah, Alcide is Packmaster, finally.
Yeah. After taking V, and after his father gave him V. I don't know. I'm a little... But isn't that what happened in the books, too? Wasn't there V involved? Or was it that... No, it wasn't V. It was... Isn't that when Suki had the hallucination?
He gave her something.
They gave her something.
Yeah. But I think it's something that he's might have used before.
Yeah.
So that's how he was able to tell her there's no danger, So.
Right. Yeah, I just remember there being some sort of assistance used when it came right down to it. So again, spirit of the books.
Right.
So
whatever. That was
and I wasn't the thing with Ricky and the V, at first I was like, why are we wasting our time on this? And a lot of people in the chat room were the same way. But it was a personal connection to get Alcide to finally get off of his very gorgeous butt and get in there and fight for the pack. That's what he needed. He needed to get a kick in the pants to go do it. And that's what it took. So that was the purpose there. And, that's...
Yeah, that is fine. Now. But again, I'm like, Alcide, what the heck is wrong with you? Why are you just sitting back? You just going to be a loser like your dad?
It's that frickin' male honor thing again. See what it gets you? Living in a trailer in the middle of nowhere, addicted to V, living on disability.
Yeah.
Just give up the male honor thing, or at least figure out how to use it productively. Yeah, there's a thin line between honor and pride. And pride goes before a fall. So I think what we saw was Jackson on the fall side of that line. And Alcide stepping right up to the line and then realizing that's not what he wanted to do.
But now I hope that we do get some more of Jackson a little bit next season, because I feel like he, now that his son has taken over as Packmaster, he might now have a purpose or a place in a pack again, because he was a loner. He was a lone wolf.
Yeah.
And so maybe now with a purpose, he'll be, I don't know, maybe he'll just,
it'll give him something to live for.
He'll be more productive and start caring again. So, we'll see. We'll see where that goes. I don't know. Maybe him and Martha can get it together.
I kind of wondered if they were laying the foundation for that.
See, that brings us to the Emma question. And the Luna and Sam. Okay, first of all, let's get this right out in the open. Sam killing Rosalind like that? Wow! Best death scene ever.
That was awesome. It was gory. It was really, really, really gross. But it was so awesome.
No one has ever done that before. Has anyone ever done that before?
I don't think so. I think that was a completely original death.
Now, I haven't watched all the, gory, vampire-y kind of stuff, so I don't know. You guys are all going to have to let us know. But as far as I know, that was a new one.
That's the first death by fly. Ever.
As soon as he flew into her mouth, I knew what was coming. Yeah. I knew it was coming.
But I didn't want to think about it. Didn't want to think about it. It was so gross, but what a way to go.
And she felt it coming too.
What a way to go. No. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
And then we've got Luna. Okay, so we've got Michael McMillian having to play Luna playing Steve Newland. That was funny. And I love that Chelsea was calling him out on the lack of the accent. So then they're debating branding, personal branding, and, marketing theory. It's just like, this is really not the time for that, Chelsea. And,
after that, when it was found out that it was really Luna, I'm thinking back at that scene between him and Chelsea, and I'm like, what an idiot. I should have seen that coming. That was a big giveaway right there that he no longer spoke with the accent.
Oh, you didn't?
No. I didn't,
Okay.
All right. Go ahead. Go ahead. Say it. Liz, what in the world universe are you watching this in? I don't know.
Oh, no. See, I knew as soon as he came to get Emma out of the cage that it was Luna.
Oh.
That was Sam's plan. That's why he went and was messing around in Steve's room.
Well, I knew that she was supposed to do that, but I just didn't. For whatever reason, I didn't
make the connection.
I didn't. No.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm so easily surprised at stuff.
Yeah. Well, now you can go back and watch that scene with greater appreciation for what was going on.
I will.
Or all of that, all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But, okay, so question. We know that Sweetie and her little padre of nutsos were taking out shifters. But they're not public knowledge, right? Their existence. In the books that came out, like in book 10 or end of 10, I think it was, they came out and announced their existence, and it did not go very well. But on True Blood, they haven't, right?
The shifters?
Right.
No, I don't think they have.
So now that Luna shifted on live television.
Oops.
Yeah. Is the proverbial cat out of the bag?
That might be the way they're going to do it.
Mm-hmm. I think there's some pretty broad implications for what just happened there.
Yeah.
Yeah. As Lafayette said, I did not see that coming.
That was so funny.
It's a good thing he made those cocktails, so they'd be ready for that night.
Cajun margaritas. I want a recipe.
Apparently, they're really delicious.
I don't know. They look like it. They had a nice effect.
Well, everybody was practically swooning over them, so yeah. We need a recipe.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder if they're in the new True Blood cookbook.
Maybe.
Curious.
I don't know. But if it makes you roll the hips like that, give me 2.
Look at him go.
Yeah. All right. What else do we have? Okay, so Sam and Luna. It looks like Luna's dying. And
it's that same thing from the beginning of earlier in the season when she shifted into Sam. It's the same issue, I guess.
Yeah. So do you think her recovery is going to be slower this time or
non-existent?
Or not at all?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm a little concerned.
I'm a little concerned. And people have been wondering about it, especially in the light of the news that Janina Gavankar has signed on to that new series.
Yeah, but she's just a recurring character. And it's, okay, she's a recurring character, which means she's not in every episode. It's a sitcom, which means they film, like 8 hours, 5 days a week. That's the schedule on that show. And so she wouldn't need to be there every week either. And it's not premiering till mid-season, so she should have all of her filming done by Christmas. And True Blood Season 6 isn't going to start up until probably January. So that's not really an indicator of whether or not she's going to be back.
I didn't think so either, but I know a lot of people were wondering. A lot of people on Twitter were wondering about that. So I kind of wanted you to explain that. So because you do it better than me, because I don't talk good.
That's not really a factor.
Okay.
As far as scheduling goes, Janina being on that show is not really a factor on whether or not she's going to be on True Blood. So. And I think no matter what, I think she has to at least be in the season 6 premiere. Whether Luna survives or not, don't we have to see what happens? So I think she'll at least be in the first episode. And then they'll go from there.
Okay, so what are our cliffhangers? We've got Billith. We've got Luna. And what happens with Emma, depending on what happens to Luna.
Right.
And then we have Andy and the Babies. It sounds like a musical group, Andy and the Country Western. Andy and the Babies.
And we have what happened to
happened to Steve Newland and what's going on with Jason. Right,
Jason and Jessica and Pam and Tara and Nora are in the elevator.
So how long is Nora going to stick around? Is she on board for good? It'd be great to hear a upgrade to series regular. Well, we're not going to hear anything for not for a while. So, but I would like for her to stay around. I really would.
Yeah, I know the Eric Sookie shippers aren't real thrilled, but given how fluid Eric and Nora's relationship is, I'm not concerned about that.
Well, I mean, come on. He even told the guard when they were driving back into the authority headquarters there, Sookie is mine. He said it again. Come on. Can there be a doubt?
Yeah.
I'm not.
His loyalties remain where they've been pretty much from the beginning. So.
Yeah. So. So quite a few ends left hanging there in the wind. And Warlow.
Yes, we did not find out who Warlow was. In fact, he was not even mentioned in this episode because they were so busy with everything else, with Russell and Bill and what's going on with Jason. So, which was another thing that bothered me about the hallucination of Jason's parents. Why did they never mention him?
See? Because they don't know.
Yeah. There's something wrong. Something wrong with them.
Something not quite right.
Something wrong.
Yeah.
Off.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We have a long time to wait.
Plenty of time to speculate.
Plenty of time. So,
Yeah.
I think that's it for episode discussion, unless I'm forgetting something.
You know, I'm sure that we are, but for now,
that's what we've got. And we've still got quite a few in the spoilers area to talk about. So I think we're gonna wrap up episode discussion and move on into spoiler segment. So if you don't want to be spoiled about season 6, you don't want to know anything at all, want to be completely surprised, go ahead and shut us off, and we will see you next week because we will still be here.
That's right.
However, if you do want to know what we think about next season, hang in there, because
we're going to kick it off with an interview with Alan Ball, departing showrunner. He talked with Osceola over at TV Line about season 5 and a little bit about season 6. He's playing it close to the vest as usual. But Osceola asks, "Is Bill God now?" And Alan says, "I don't want to say if he is or he isn't. Who's to say what Lilith really is? He is still Bill, but he is something different." And so they said, is there some of the old Bill in there? And Alan says, "It is Bill, but it is a transformed Bill. He is not a completely new person. It's not like his memories or his experiences have been left out and he's just a baby."
So do you think now that alone could be a redeeming quality for Bill?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. It's like, again, Tara's experiences and memories were not wiped out. It's just that
Evolved.
She has other... Yeah, evolved. Good word. And Alan says, is he going to be evil? What does he want? What is he going to do? Will he be able to revert back to Bill? That's for future seasons, plural. The implication certainly is that he is more ferocious. The implication.
So I like that, though, that he's more ferocious.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I just want to...
But that's an implication,
right,
not a fact.
Right. But let's think about that just for 1 second really quick, because a lot of people have talked about Bill being the weakest link. And he's so weak, and he's so wishy-washy and blah, blah.
Like they did with Tara.
So, you guys, hang on to your hats. Don't give up on Bill yet. He could be more ferocious. I could certainly see it. He could
be evolving. This could evolve the character into something even more awesome, like what happened when they turned Tara.
Oh, man. It's just epic. When you think about it, when you think about what they have to work with for next season.
They must be giddy.
I'm giddy.
It's like Alan gave them a going away present from himself. This is what I'm giving you guys to work with. Yeah. Osceola did ask if Luna dies, and Alan, of course, says, "You'll have to watch. We didn't see her die." He confirms that Russell is dead. We might see him in flashbacks, but he is definitely dead, like the true death. As far as Steve Newland, Alan said that he doesn't know. He says, "I've spoken to Mark briefly. They've only pitched some very broad ideas. I hope he does bring Steve back because I think he's such a great character. I don't know if he would be a big part of the season, but he definitely seems like that would be a person to bring back," which I agree. Alan says they never wanted to define Warlow until next season, so it was never the plan for us to know who it was this season, but he will be a big part of season 6. Osceola says, "Is he someone we've met before?" And Alan, because he's Alan, says no comment.
Thanks, Alan.
Yeah. So then the question is, does with Bill heading into big bad territory next season, does that make Eric the new hero of True Blood? And Alan says it remains to be seen. They've both been heroes in their own way. Eric was kind of like a mischievous cad, but I don't think he was ever a true villain the way that Russell was or the way that Marianne was. And he's done a lot of really heroic things himself. So I never really looked at Eric as the bad guy and Bill as the good guy, at least not since the very early seasons. But it remains to be seen what will go down with both of them.
Very.
So, again, it is a character flip, but I think it's worth noting that no one on this show is ever purely good or purely bad. They're very, very complicated characters with all kinds of motivations and agendas and emotions and connections to other characters that influence what they do. So I think hero's a good word. Heroes can be flawed. So hero's a good word. And as far as Bill goes, it remains to be seen.
It's all going to be good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, the bonus clip showed us probably the first couple minutes of what's probably going to be the opening scene. Yeah, in season 6.
And this was available on HBO
We're not,
Go.
Talking out of turn or anything, but everybody, we all saw Jason, Jessica, Pam, Tara, and Nora get onto the elevator. And this scene continues in the elevator. And Jessica is trying to calm Jason down, that everything's going to be okay. Suki's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. But Jason is antsy. He's very antsy. And he's looking around kind of shifty-eyed a little bit. Jessica is noticing this. She knows there's something not right about Jason right now. What they showed when I was watching it on HBO Go is not what they showed on the extended version. I think it's the extended version, right?
Well, it's the interactive feature that you have to click at the bottom to see, and it's called "What's Jason Thinking?"
So, and what it is those parents are there with him, and they're talking all kinds of stuff, about going after Warlow. Now you can hunt him down, and why not take these out with you? So, just as Jason was about to look like he was going to make a move, I thought for a minute there he's going to turn around and start shooting. The elevator doors open, okay, and then they all kind of slowly step off, and they have to be cautious. There's still guards around that they're still shooting, still duck hunting. And but Jason and Nora start heading up a staircase, and Jason is telling her about how he wants to just get this all over with so he can go after the Warlow who killed his parents. And
he says, I'm going to kill
and Nora
Warlow.
Right away, Warlow, what do you know about Warlow? So she knows him.
Yeah, and Jason gets this really confused look on his face as he turns back and looks at her.
Yeah.
Fade to black. So Nora knows who he is too.
Which doesn't mean that he's vampire. It could be.
I don't know.
It could be, but I still have my doubts. I still think it's a bad Fae.
There's a lot of speculation
going
on
about
that.
And rightly so. They've given us a lot to speculate on. I mean, there's some that think it's a vampire turn tainted, I don't know, fairy vamps, kind of a mashup. Yeah, like a hybrid. And then there's some that think that this is. I read somewhere that somebody said that this is what happens to fairies when they go bad or something. Well, that's too Lord of the Rings for me.
Oh, what if it's like Lucifer? What if it's like Lucifer, a fallen angel? That would kind of fit in with this whole
it could be
that they're doing.
Unless they're gonna move on from that next season. It could be.
I don't know that they can now that we've got Billy.
Oh. Okay, so some people are speculating that Warlow could take down Lilith, but now that Lilith has taken on a human form, I don't know.
Maybe.
There is so much to speculate on with that, so much. But Nora knows. Nora has heard of Warlow. That was interesting to me.
Yeah. I was stunned when I was as stunned as Jason. And he'd actually read
turned around.
So. But she was just so kind of matter of fact about it. Warlow, what do you know about Warlow? Like, so this is Warlow's like common knowledge? I'm not sure. Everybody
knows about him, but Suki and Jason.
I guess. Well, the vampires all appear too.
Well, and the fairies, not all the fairies know because
or the older vampires.
Yeah,
they've heard of
maybe
him.
Heard of him, but I don't know. That's so much to think about.
Yeah. So Warlow clearly will be a big part of season 6. We also know, thanks to that clip, that the season will start right where it left off. Nora knows about Warlow. Bill's reincarnation is whatever he is now. It's going to be a major storyline. Cam and Tara will be an item, at least in the beginning. You know how Alan hates happy couples. So we don't know what then. And here's the list of characters that are confirmed for season 6 that we know will be a part of season 6. Sookie, Bill, Eric, Alcide, Lafayette, Arlene, Terry, Jessica, Sam, Jason, Pam, Tara, Polly, Andy, Nora, and Morella. We know that all of those characters will be back for season 6 through, various sources. And the characters whose states are unknown include Luna, Steve, Emma, Martha, Jackson, Ricky, and Lilith. That's about what the extent of our season 6 knowledge at the moment. But you can check out our True Blood season 6 spoiler guide, and we'll be updating that.
Yeah.
Anytime new information is
as
available.
quickly as we can. We'll get it out of our hot little hands and onto our hot page.
And speaking of what's happening in season 6, before season 6, we actually have quite a few things that we are planning for our site. We will be doing a revamp, no pun intended, of the site to make it easier for you guys to find all of the content that we have. We've got 4.5 years worth of stuff now, 5 seasons worth of archived information. We'll be beefing up some of the sections on the site. And we've also got a couple of really cool features in the works that we had wanted to have ready before the finale, but yeah, they were bit off more than we could chew there. So we're hoping to have at least one of them ready for you by the end of September, and I think it'll be very helpful resource. So just keep your eyes peeled. Be sure to bookmark us, or subscribe on Twitter, subscribe to our RSS feed, etc. And just keep your eyes open for all the new stuff as we
absolutely
fresh content.
Well, that's going to be our show for this week. We'd like to thank you all for watching, listening, and supporting us, as well as the show. We won't be going away on hiatus like the show is. As Mel just said, we've got a lot of things we want to implement. We're going to be adding a lot of fresh content, fun contests. We're still going to keep those going. And the various polls. We want to know what you guys are thinking. And we're going to do our best to help make the next 9 or 10 months fly by. 9 months, if you want to think about the DVD sales. Don't forget to, again, bookmark our page, True-Blood.net, and keep yourselves up to date. You can follow us on Twitter at True-Blood.net and find us on Facebook as well. Convenient links are posted in the sidebar on our main page. That might move just a little, but you'll be able to find it. Yeah. You guys will love it.
But it'll be easy. It'll be easy to
anyway,
find.
we want to thank you guys for watching us.
We also want to thank Minda for editing our podcast. She's had a long haul this season, jumping from our, 15-minute podcasts to an hour and 15 minutes. But she's performed admirably under pressure. So thank you, Minda. You can subscribe to True Blood Radio on iTunes at the link now showing on your screen. And you can also listen to us on Stitcher at stitcher.com/trueblood.radio. We will be continuing the podcast. We don't take a break. So we will have our next weekly podcast available next week. Don't forget, you can send in your comments or questions to webmaster at true-blood.net. We do love to hear from you. And here we go. Hiatus time. Let's speculate.
Bye-bye.
Bye.